Hi, I'm Anita of My Duke and I podcast, and wherever you are in the world, I hope that you're doing spectacularly. And if you're seeing the show for the very first time and you like the show, please subscribe, like, and share, and hit that notification bell so that when an episode comes out, you'll be the first to know. I'm going to deep dive into an article that came out in People magazine where Prince Harry is on the front cover. And there are lots of sources in this article that have either direct links to Meghan and Harry or has worked for Harry and Meghan in the past. People magazine has been a magazine that Harry and Meghan favor in the United States when they were going on the Nigerian trip. They had one news outlet following them, and it was People magazine. Also, in the past, too, we saw that there were information in People magazine that was used to set the record straight from Harry and Meghan's camp. So I believe this article. I believe what is being said here. I don't believe People magazine would jeopardize their relationship with the Sussexes by printing something that is made up out of thin air. So let's get into it. So here are the key points that People magazine makes with Prince Harry being on the cover. So they talked about one, a strained relationship between Charles and William. They talk about a lack of communication with Charles. We'll go into more details. They talk about security concerns. Of course, we all know that Prince Harry has been denied proper security when he is in England. They've offered him a bespoke security, meaning that it's a tailored security, and he has to give a couple of days notice in advance. I believe it's 28 days. And they also talk about the impact of public statements and Harry's memoir that has further strained the relationship between the royal family and Harry. They also talk about Meghan's support for Harry and so on. But there are lots of quotes in there. And as I said, somebody has spoken to people and they give them a lot of in depth information on the Sussexes. Let's get into each of the different topics that I just described that was mentioned in the People magazine articles. For matter of fact, they wrote three articles on the Sussexes and the royal family on the 31st of July. So let's get into it. As I said, so we talked about a strained relationship. They said there in the article that the relationship between Prince Harry and Prince William is described as very bad, with Harry's attempt to connect with his brother being ignored. Now, there's the saying that blood is thicker than water, and we are on the outside looking in. These two boys are blood related, and whatever Harry chooses to do in terms of his relationship with William, that is his prerogative. It is not my place to say what he should and shouldn't do. I have my opinions. I mean that he's moved on. He's with his family. He's here in the United States. I just believe Harry just have to just keep his head high and just keep doing what he's doing and just living his best life here with his children and his wife. That is my opinion. He might have something that he desires more than just, a life with his children and his wife, and probably wants to get back, in the good graces of his brother and, come back and rekindle their relationship. I just think it's a bad idea. And it makes Harry look like he really is desperate for a relationship with William and Charles, whereas it's not reciprocated, meaning that William doesn't appear like he wants a relationship with Harry. So I'm not going to get involved. Whatever Harry decides to do, that's on him. I'm only here to support him. Okay, so they said, despite the rift, it is not considered irreparable, meaning that there is hope. It might not be immediately, it might be in the future that there's a chance that Harry and William can rekindle their relationship. But right now, they're saying that the wounds are open and um, it would take time. As they said, time heals all wounds. So William and Harry's relationship is not good, they said, but it is not beyond repair. And there's a lot of other articles that have discussed the same topic, like The Independent and Marie Claire magazine. Those are sources. You can go and look them up yourself. So, People magazine talked about a lack of communication with Charles and Harry. So, they said that Prince Harry's attempts to reach out to his father, Charles, have reportedly gone unanswered. They said a friend of Harry's mentioned he gets unavailable right now. His calls goes directly to unanswered, and they said that this lack of communication has exacerbated the tension, especially concerning Harry's concern over security. And eh, there we go again. I mean, you could love your family, but sometimes you have to love your family at a distance, especially if your family is disturbing your mental health, if you're not at peace with them. And I say that as much as Harry is a good person and wanting to reach out to his father, but Charles has proven himself as someone that is not paternal. And I don't know, what Charles's cancer state is right now. But if it was me, I would be making amends with my family. I would be preparing myself to meet my creator in a better way. But apparently, that is not a pressing matter for Charles right now. And he's choosing to ignore Harry's calls if Harry is making those calls. I can take a quote from the Bible. It says, honor your mother and your father, for your days shall be long. I think Harry is trying to honor Charles. He doesn't have a mother, but he does have a living father. And he's trying to honor his father, but they say you can bring a horse to the water, but you cannot force it to drink. So Harry is sending out the olive branch to his father, and apparently his father is deliberately choosing not to accept that olive branch. And it's time for Harry to move on. That's what I said. That's what everybody has been saying, but everybody have their reason for doing certain things. Now, the article also went on to talk about security concerns. They say one of the main points of contention between Prince Harry is the lack of security provided to him and his family after stepping back from royal duties. And they tend to use this whole royal duties thing a lot. I believe Harry and Meghan, as they said, were forced out. They really wanted to stay there and do the job, that the royal family has been doing. They wanted to, serve England. They wanted to be patrons of these organizations. They really wanted to do good, but they were literally forced out and they had no choice but to come to the US because of how Meghan was being treated, the lack of respect in the United Kingdom, as well as the support within the royal family for Meghan. So, it's just terrible when they tend to use the word royal duties, like they didn't want to have any royal duties. They did want to have the royal duties. They did want to do good, but you cannot do good under those circumstances. You have to take care of your mental health first. Harry feels like Charles can intervene to ensure his family's safety, but Charles is not doing that. And there was a quote in the article saying that Harry is frightened and he feels the only person who can do anything about it is his father, who refuses to intervene. And I don't know what Harry expects. This is a man that abandoned his wife and, sent her out there to the wolves, to the paparazzi, who literally chased her to her death. So if he didn't do for Diana, who is the mother of his two children, William and Harry, it's not Harry he's going to do for. As I said already, that Harry is, waiting for Charles to be paternal, but the man doesn't have a paternal bone in him. People magazine also stated that the release of Prince Harry's memoir, Spear, and his public interviews have reportedly compromised the family's trust in him. Sources close to the palace suggest, according to People magazine, this has been a factor in the strained relationship. Now, a friend of Harry's noted that resolving the security issue could lead to a potential reconciliation. So, if the matter of security is resolved, it is swords down. Well, this is interesting in the sense that what they're saying here is if Harris provided the security, then he wouldn't have to go on national television and talk about, the security that he needs. That is one thing that would be removed from talking about the royal family if that was provided to him. But as long as the security is not provided to him, he has a right to speak publicly. He has a right to speak up against the fact that the UK government is withholding the security that he needs in order for his wife and children to go to the United Kingdom, which is his birthland. Also, too, we have the Invictus Games coming up in 2027, where Harry feels like he has to be over there. And I could get a sense that Harry would love to have Meghan by his side while he's in England supporting the Invictus families. But as long as he doesn't get that security, he cannot go. And I'm sure that is bothering him as well. So that would be one thing out of the equation if they would provide the security that he needs. And he said that one person who seems to be severely bothered by Harry's truth, which is Charles, he can intervene, but he's not really intervening. And as long as they don't have security, he's going to continue wailing about that fact. People magazine also talked about the support that Meghan has for her husband, Prince Harry. They said Meghan supports Prince Harry's effort to ensure their family's safety, but wishes he could move past the litigation and focus on being happy. Well, in a way, I could see how, being bogged down with something like this on your mind, constantly in fear, would definitely make you be a little bit worrisome. And I'm thinking that's where Megan is coming from, that Harry shouldn't have that burden on his mind, worried about what can potentially happen to his wife, like what happened to his mother. And this is something he has said in the past, where he doesn't want what happened to his mother to happen to his wife. And that was one of the reasons why he even left the United Kingdom as well. So it is bothering him, and Megan has a right to state that, and also to she's seen him on a day in and day out situation where he is consumed by the safety of her at as well as Archie and Lily, and he's preoccupied with that, and it's sort of like taking away or dampening his joy, and which he should be enjoying right now. It's taken away from his joy. What Harry should be doing right now is enjoying his family and not having to worry about the day in and day out safety of Meghan, Archie, and Lily. So they also said that a former employee of Archwell Foundation said she wants, she being Megan, wants him to live in a world where he's not burdened by the whole security thing that is being withheld from him, meaning that he's not consumed by that whole security issue. There's a lot going on in that royal family. When Harry participated in the documentary Tabloids on Trial, he did say that a significant part of why there's a rift between him and his family is because of the tabloids. But there is more. Let's just put it this way: Meghan is a better communicator than Harry. She is used to being on a public stage as an actress and so on. And I think Harry gets a lot of anxiety and at times doesn't bring out the points that he wants to bring out as effective as Meghan. So, People Magazine talked about all of these things that is occurring, and, that is causing contention between the Sussexes, particularly Harry. I don't think Meghan cares that much about the United Kingdom and the royal family because she had a life before she went there. The royal family in England and being part of that society was all Harry had, and that's all he knew, literally. So I could imagine that it has more of an impact on him than it would have on Meghan. After all, Meghan only stayed in England for about 2 years. So the United States is more ingrained in her. The UK is more ingrained in Harry. So he would take more of it would affect him more personally, I should say. So there's a lot that is going on here within the surface of the royal family and the Sussexes. It's just a complex situation when you think about it. It has to do with security, it has to do with communication, it has to do with public perception of, what people believe Harry's motive is, and as well as the royal family. It has to do with Harry writing his book and speaking his truth in Spear, as well as the documentary Harry and Meghan, the docu-series that they did for Netflix. All of those things are playing into what is going on and the tension between the Sussexes and the royal family. But as I said, what has to happen here is that you can love your family, but you can love them from afar. Your family doesn't necessarily have to be in your life for you to love them. You have to choose your mental health first. You have to choose what is best for you and make a decision based on that. And if the royal family wants to reconcile, and if it is in Harry's interest to reconcile at any point with the royal family, then let that be on him. But at the same time, that kind of stress on a young family is not very good for Meghan to be worried about him. I'm sure the children and them are seeing what he's going through, the agony that he has, and the concern and worry that he has, and the frustration. It's definitely, I think, is affecting his household, and that's the reason why I believe Megan is speaking on it. Well, anyways, guys, that's all for now. I'll see you guys on the next episode. I hope I did not offend anybody, but I was just speaking the truth. And as I said, Harry and Meghan are their own people. They have their own decisions to make. They have their own mind. They're smart and intelligent people, and they can see the world for what it is, and they know their situation best. We're just looking in from the outside. We don't know what is going on in the Sussex home. We don't know what is going on in the relationship between the royal family and the Sussexes. What we read and what we see, that is what we have to go off from, and it is just not our place to decide what Harry wants to do and should do with his family. Blood is thicker than water, and when we get involved and we tend to say what they should do, we're setting ourselves up for disappointments, because at the end of the day, if Harry does go back to his family, uh, after all, that's his family, uh, then we're going to be left, beaten up on ourselves and not knowing which way to move and which sides to take and how to tread with the family again. So, as I said, it is his decision to make. I will support him 100%, but I have my opinions. I could voice my opinions, but I'm staying out of what is going on between the royal family and Harry. I support him and Meghan 100%, but it's dangerous for us to, you know, call in the royal family names. We don't know what Harry's heart is when it comes to his endearment for them. And we don't even know if Harry is pleased with how we are expressing ourselves in terms of what we feel and what he should do with his family. So, anyways, on that note, I'll see you guys on the next video. Love each and every one of you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And most importantly, hit the like button, because that really helps the channel. Take care and see you guys on the next episode. Love each and every one of you guys. I don't know how many times I've said this now. Bye.